Let's fucking go. Yo, guys, what's up? So, this is a recap of last week's training. And hey, we're training up for the Desert Duels No Gi competition. The reason why this video is of value to you guys is because I'm here trying to show the way, man, and help you guys achieve all your goals. That's what this is about. It's about, because you got more than one goal, right? You got your career goal, you got your personal fitness goal, you got maybe you've got a side hustle business, or maybe you have a business that you're in right now. Maybe you have a relationship goals and you're just trying to get them all done, man. And isn't it true that as you go through life, it seems like life gets harder and harder. So the purpose of the series here is I'm training up for the no gi competition, the Desert Duels no gi competition in September, and I am doing these weekly recaps of how the training went and sharing the journey with you guys to share how I'm accomplishing it all and passing along the wisdom, the lessons that I gain each week. And the goal is like that those lessons help you guys accomplish it all. You know what I mean? Like you should be able to accomplish your goals. You know what I mean? Like, as silly as that sounds, like you should be able to accomplish your goals. Like so one of the things that I do, all right, so here's what's ahead for the video. Number one, I'm on my way to the gym right now. It's Sunday at 7 a.m. I'm going to go get this workout in. I'll record a little bit, and on the way home, I'll talk to you guys a little bit about last week and how it went for me with no-gi training, weight training, life, and etc. Right? I also recognize that some of you guys said that you liked the 3 videos a week. I will probably go back to that. All right. But let's just ride out this series right now. I'm getting my feet underneath me with YouTube. I was kind of just shotgun blasting content before, and I'm getting more and more intentional every time I do a video. So that's what the channel is going to get better, guys. All right. And so what I was going to say is that one of the things I do on Sunday, which can help you guys out, is I just reflect, man. I reflect on the week and I ask myself why, try to figure out where I got stuck and what can I do to overcome those things. All right. So the translation for you is last week you probably did not accomplish everything you set out. You either didn't accomplish anything or you had some areas in your life where you came short. And you got mad at yourself, you got frustrated. This video is not sponsored by Gorilla Mind, even though I like the company. So I was going through this morning, and maybe you can go through it in your life, right? As I reviewed last week and asked myself, where am I getting stuck? And it's the same challenge over and over and over again. It's always the same challenge. It's like we have to learn to break the habit of being ourselves, right? My challenge is that I keep having this mental block this loop in my business where I'm very quick. So how do I explain this? In your life, think about trying to approach a goal. And every time you go to do it, all of a sudden you find yourself either procrastinating or doing something that's very easy because you don't want to go past where you're currently at. So in other words, maybe it's like the gym for you. You want to go to the gym, but you're kind of anxious about it. You keep making excuses every single day. You keep telling yourself Monday you'll start, or tomorrow you'll start, or you'll really pick it up after this type of scenario happens. You keep making all these excuses, and then you catch yourself doing something that's easy for you, like work, or dealing with some sort of problem in your family, or like maybe a relative of yours needs help and all of a sudden you're there to help them. Or maybe you keep making excuses that you need to get money, you need to hustle, and so now's not the time to work out. Okay, this is a negative loop. This is a loop that's keeping you stuck. It's a revolving door. This mindset loop of I want to go forward, but I keep coming up with an excuse that's taking me sideways. and it feels like that's what I'm supposed to do. So I go through that in my own business. And personal development is what gets you out of those loops. You got to become self-aware. So I was doing some personal development this morning. And sorry, this guy just got out of his car on this crosswalk. And I think he thinks that the lights... Yeah, he clicked he thinks the light's broken. All right, so I was going through this with my business, and I keep finding myself hitting this wall where I have a habit where I've wanted to help everybody with everything, right? In my coaching business. I want life coaching, fitness coaching, executive coaching, leadership coaching, all these different types of coaching, man. I've even, I've done a little bit of like social media consulting. I wouldn't call it coaching, call it consulting, where people have come to me and I've taken on those projects. So I just was like saying yes to everything, right? Because I'm like, oh yeah, I'll just help everybody. And so this happens to me over and over again. So in your life, what's the repeating thing that you do? Do you know what it is? What's the repeating behavior that you have that's keeping you stuck? For me, it's helping everybody instead of like an MMA biting down on your mouthpiece and being like, hey, this is who I'm going to help. And I'm going to plant my flag on that hill. Or obviously you don't plant a flag in MMA. But you bite down on your mouthpiece and you say, this is what I'm going for. And I'm very good at setting my sights on a target in my personal life with fitness and even in the military. I was very good at it. But in business, I find myself kind of falling into the overthinking trap. And I have to constantly get myself back on track. So for yourself, maybe you're the same way. Maybe you overthink a certain aspect of your life, your relationships, or maybe it's your money, or maybe it's your business, or maybe it's your career, or maybe it's your fitness. So the way to overcome every obstacle, which is what I learned from last week, and I'm constantly learning, is always through the motherfucker, man. Like, you can go around it, sure. But my point is, my epiphany this week, because this is a challenge, overcoming yourself is a challenge you're constantly going to have to overcome. It doesn't just happen one time, it happens over and over and over again. So for me, it was, and maybe this will help you, is I was like, well, I'm avoiding sales conversations, and I'm working on my offer and my product more than I'm talking to people. I realized that this last week. I'm like, oh man, I'm not talking to enough people. I'm not doing enough sales. I'm not doing enough relationship building. I'm not doing enough. I'm focused so much on trying to get the product right. I fell into a cycle of working on the product, which really at the end of the day doesn't take me anywhere in the short term. Long term, it'll help. Yeah. But sometimes when you're focused on building the product, you're really just delaying the work that you want to do, that you need to do. And so for maybe that's your fitness, right? Maybe in your fitness, you keep saying that you need to do something else first, right? I was having this conversation yesterday. Somebody was telling me that they didn't want to get some extra help for their fitness because they wanted to do it on their own first. And they said, I want to get to a certain level first and then get help. And I'll tell you, that is a loop. If you are waiting to get more help, if you're waiting to take the next best step, you're self-sabotaging. So the thing I reflect on this morning was like, oh, dude, I'm self-sabotaging. So once you figure out that you're self-sabotaging, you're going to get a little bit of mental relief. Like, oh, that's what's going on. But unless you take immediate action, you're fucked. You're fucked. Unless you take immediate action, you're going to fall back into the cycle of overthinking, not taking action, going in a loop, and then trying to figure out why you're stuck. Like, that's the habitual pattern, right? It's getting frustrated, you feel stuck. Digging into it, trying to figure out why you're stuck. Figuring out why you're stuck, getting the epiphany, and then going back to doing nothing. And then, some time goes by and you go through that whole loop again. So unless you take immediate action, once you find out where you're stuck and why you're stuck, you're going back into the same loop. So this morning for me, I automatically started doing relationship building, and it's sales, but it's relationship building where I'm connecting with people, getting to know them, and I believe that people have a bad relationship with the word sales, but real sales is just meeting people. That's all it is. Meeting people, figuring out if you can help them. So I was like, immediately today, I was like, I spent a good 30 minutes, an hour, just focused on starting relationships, opening up conversations, getting to know people, and just really taking action, knowing that I didn't want to do it. So for you, man, like in your life, what's your loop and what's the action step? That's like one of the biggest things that we have to work through, man. And so I'm very satisfied, the fact that I took some action. Now I'm going up here to the gym. I was thinking about, that was with business, right? But now with MMA, grappling, one of the things that I'm kind of struggling with is I like MMA training, but I have the no-gi competition coming up. So I can't be sitting here, training MMA every day. I got to train no-gi, but I don't want to let go of the MMA training. So this kind of like crossroads happens all the time where we have competing priorities. So for me, last week was me fighting those competing priorities, but working through prioritizing MMA versus grappling and stuff. So that's what I'm going to continue to focus on this week. But I'm going to go up here, hit this gym session, get a good pump in, have a good morale workout. You need one good morale workout a week. That's what Sunday is for me. I'm going to go hit this, and then I'll do the recap at the end, all right, for how last week's training went, and give you guys some strategies to conquer all in your life. Let's get it. All right, so thought of the day. Nobody gives a fuck. Like, nobody cares about you, dude. So I was just thinking here, guys, like, a lot of times in life we get stuck because of the judgment, right? We worry about what others are going to think, whether we're going to fail. We worry about if we take this path, who's going to approve, who won't approve. And we weigh our decisions off of the opinions and our perspective of others. And it stops us from starting. Every single one of us, man. And the reality is, nobody gives a fuck, dude. Whatever you decide to do, at the end of the day, nobody is going to give a shit. You might have a couple of people that say one or two things, but here, if you were to die, there would be people around you that were upset, and every single one of them would get over it. Even your family members. At some point, you're going to be an afterthought. So, why do you care? Whatever it is that you're about to go do, why do you care? Why do you care? Why do you care what people think, dude? Like, stop being so careful with what it's like the rules that you play, the rules that you assign life. Like a lot of you guys are saying it's too late for you to do whatever it is that you want to do. According to who? According to you, the game that you're playing, the rules that you created. I'll give you an example. I'm 38 years old, about to be 39. And I train mixed martial arts. It doesn't make any sense for somebody that's my age to be training mixed martial arts. It makes no sense. People are, but I do it anyway. Because I don't give a shit what people think, dude. Fuck that. Or rather, I care, but I'm not going to let it stop me. Like, I'm going to push that shit out of my head and not allow myself to care. You know what I mean? So I learned that nobody gives a shit about you in your life when I was in Iraq at 20 years old. Damn near 20 years ago. And some of you guys are still pretending like people give a shit. They don't give a shit. They care about their lives. So stop weighing what you're doing with your life off of the opinions of other people. Like, you're not gonna move. That's why you're not moving in life. That's why you're not moving fast as you want to move, is because you think about what people are gonna say, whether when you get there you're gonna have the approval of people that you're seeking, that you respect. And it's like, bro, nobody gives a fuck. So I'm training for this no-gi competition. And I'm going up against a younger guy. Who gives a shit? Bro, I'm doing it to challenge myself, to push myself, to do something, while everybody else is doing nothing. So stop contemplating. Like, here's a scenario. When you think about going after your goal, do you think about whether or not somebody else would approve of it? Whether it fits? Maybe you get the goal, you achieve it. Do you assume that somebody that you're watching, somebody that you're thinking about, is going to give a shit about the goal? They're not. They might. If you get the chance to talk to them, they might say good job, but that's it. It doesn't change anything that they're doing in their life. They're not going to open some door for you. Nothing great is going to happen for you. Nothing is going to change, except for you're going to get the goal and realize that you chased something because you wanted the feeling of getting approved by somebody that doesn't give a shit. That might sound cold, but it's the truth. People are so consumed with their own worlds. It's just like you. You're consumed with your own world. Do you sit around thinking about about approving other people on their path? Oh, that person did such a good job. No, you think about yourself. So, stop. So, yeah, like I was going to say, stop fucking stop analyzing your path from the lens of somebody else's approval. It's your fucking life. And you're just taking your sweet ass time for no reason. Fucking wrist is a little sprained this week. I strained my pec too. Whoa. So Kai Green, I don't know if you guys know who Kai Green is. He taught me these right here for my shoulders. I worked out with him for like 2 hours. And he did these right here. For the back of the shoulders. A lot of people think you need to do like 10 to 12 reps for your shit, right? Guess how many reps I did with Kai Green? Every set was a 20 reps for 2 hours. And just goes to show that the conventional thinking is 10, 12, 15 reps. And that lower reps puts on size. But here I was working out with one of the top bodybuilders in the world. He's a legend. And we did 20 reps. This is what I mean. You see how the story you tell yourself determines the game that you play in life? You tell yourself 10 to 12 to 15 reps is the acceptable reps because somebody told you. And then you go and every time you work out, you fall into that strategy. You just do it because somebody told you, but you never challenge it. You never think outside of it. You never wonder like, oh, I wonder if I should do more reps. I wonder if I should do less. You just develop the habit of doing what you think, like the habit of doing what you've been taught. So my point is that the game of life that you're playing is all based off of the reality you are creating. And if you are not advancing, it's because of the reality you are creating, the perspective you are creating. So change your perspective. And my perspective to you guys that I'm asking you to change is that nobody gives a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck about what you decide to do. Nobody cares what product, what service. They do not care. So just pick one and go. So it's like, what are you afraid of? What are you really afraid of? You know? What are you really afraid of? Why aren't you going for it? Why are you not going for it? Why aren't you just failing? Risking the failure. That's the key. They say that if you want to succeed, fail faster. I'm failing every day, bro. Every fucking day. But that's why I know we're gonna win. You guys, if you think that people give a shit about whatever it is that you want to go do, why don't you just go for it and watch how little people give a shit. This will be a quicker video because obviously I'm in the sauna, which means that the video is not going to last too long. But September 27th is the no-gi competition. I've been taking you guys through a lot of weight training the last couple of weeks, but it's because I get a chance to talk to you. I don't really want to reveal the gi training or the no-gi training. Like, I don't want to show too many of those videos. I kind of just want to display it and let everybody see what I got. And as far as like some more life and mindset wisdom for everybody here is that, man, we got to break the loop. That's the biggest thing that I cannot stop talking about with you guys today. Is you got to break the loop, whatever it takes. Here's how to recognize that the loop's hitting, right? As soon as you go to do the work, if you catch yourself shifting to low-level tasks and trying to understand something more, you're distracting yourself from the work. If it feels uncomfortable, stay there. Stay in the discomfort. Stay in the heat. It's like this sauna right now. This little, on the door right here, it says, hot as fuck, this sucks. That's what somebody wrote on the door right here. If it sucks and you're in the middle of it, do not look for relief. Stay in the fire, man. Stay in the fire until you break through. Just like this morning I mentioned, I just did a simple little thing, like built some relationships to work on the sales and the business. That is a simple thing that inside me, it felt like massive resistance, right? It sounds pathetic even saying it out loud. And in your life, I guarantee you have something in your life that's just like something so insignificant that's giving you massive pain and massive procrastination. So break free, stay in the fire, and that's the message for you guys. All right, that's the message for all of us moving into this next week. Pretty good lifting session. I hit a lot of shoulders, posterior chain. Had a good morale workout. The dogs last night were up all throughout the night. So Charisse actually took care of them last night, and I slept like a baby. So I got great sleep last night. Like 6-7 hours of hard sleeping for me. It makes me feel like I've slept 18 hours. But she took care of the dog, so I'm very appreciative for that. And I'm feeling good. I'm feeling really good going into this next week. I do have a little bit of an injury in my pec, but I'm excited. I'm ready to get it. So I'm going to heal up this week. I'm going to focus more on no-gi training. I'm going to bump my training sessions up for no-gi. I think I'll talk to you guys about this in the car probably. But yeah, I just want to give you the message. Keep your feet in the fire. If it's uncomfortable, do more of it. If it's uncomfortable, do more of it. If it's uncomfortable, let me say it one more time. If it's uncomfortable, do more of it. All right, so that wraps up training. That finishes up the week. Today, I said it was Sunday. And this week, we're going to be focusing on up in the no-gi game. But also, man, I have been really focused on who are my people. And that's like the message I wanted to give you guys on top of like sharing the journey, is that who are your people, man? And my people are the ones that are doing the damn work. And I had a great coaching call yesterday with one of my clients. He's really applying everything. Like, I was teaching him we've taught him all different sorts of things about like character traits of a leader, core values of a leader. I was teaching him about, like why he was stuck with his body, like the biggest thing that we talked about yesterday was this. He's like, hey man, there was this time in my life where I thought that I was doing all the right things with my body, but I wasn't getting the result. He's like, I was working out hard two times a day. I thought I was eating clean and I wasn't getting any results. And I got frustrated and I would just stop. And he's like, I'm getting results now. And I was like, what did you learn? And basically this the summary of it is that he learned that he was bullshitting himself. He kept telling himself he was doing the right things, but he wasn't. And this is like one of the top barriers in all of us when it comes to going after what we want, is if you really want to get to your goal, you'll stop lying to yourself and stop, like, not every thought that you think is true, man. You tell yourself you're doing all the right things, you're not doing the right things, or you would be where you want to be. That's the reality. Look at the facts. So we talked a lot about that yesterday, and he's like, I gotta, like, looking back on that period of his life, I can't tell you how many people are the same type of way. We all like have this. I was the same type of way. I was like, yeah, I'm eating clean. I'm eating super clean. But that was bullshit. I wasn't tracking. I was being lazy. So let's cut the excuses this week and stay out of our own damn way. All right, just to recap on the training from last week. Last week was a tough week for me for training. I mean, I was dealing with some agitations and injuries. My pec, my ribs are fucking bruised because this guy punched me in the ribs 2 weeks ago. So I was trying to work around that. And I was really nervous about getting injured. So I took it lighter than I wanted to. What did I do? I mean, even on Friday, I didn't do live rounds. I just did technique. I did 2 live rounds, and then I stepped out. I was like, I'm not going to do this because I feel like my pec is about to tear. So I'm just going to chill the fuck out, which is very hard for me to do. So moving into this week, I'm going to be training smart, but I also am going to continue to stack up the volume, which means that this week it's no-gi training, 5 days a week minimum. And I'm probably going to have to pull back on some of the cardio in order to fit that in. So my cardio is pretty solid. I just need to do maintenance cardio right now, and that'll be the focus for this week. On top of it, my goal is just to stay the hell out of my own way. Stay out of my own way this week. Put the plan together. I don't need to do more. None of us need to do more. We just need to do a better job at what we're currently doing. Like, say what you're going to do and do it every day. Say what you're going to do and do it every day. This journey that I'm taking you guys on, it's different than the first time. The first time when I was in the military and I was going after my first dream of becoming a ranger, I had less responsibility. I have more responsibility now as I'm older, and that's making the climb definitely harder in a different way. Before, it was harder becoming a ranger because I had so much self-doubt and discouragement in myself. Today it's harder because I just have so much more responsibility. I got to provide for my family. I have have multiple competing goals this go around. Before, it was just one thing. I was just focused on become a fucking ranger, bro. That's it. That's all I cared about. That's it. Tunnel vision. And it caught up to me. Being tunnel vision will destroy your life, man. You will miss out on life. You will destroy relationships. If you're not willing to look at your blind spots, you'll get to the result, and you'll get there and you'll be alone. You'll be miserable. People won't want to be around you, and your life will absolutely suck because you only focused on one thing. You got to be balanced. And I don't want to say balance. I want to say you got to hammer on multiple areas of your life if you want a fulfilling and complete life. Unless you just want that type of life where you just don't give a fuck and you're just going to be, you care about one thing. That's it. That's a person. That's not the way that I want to live. You know, I want to be great at being me, and I want to live a life that I like, which means I'm going to train. I'm going to push myself physically. I'm going to go after my goals. I'm going to work on my productivity. I'm going to work on my fitness. I'm going to constantly try and find ways to make myself in better health. And that's for all of us, man. We all need to be working on these things. So, very, very last thing is, you guys, if you are trying, you are ahead of probably 75% of the population. If you're actually setting goals and going after them, you're ahead of 75% of people, because most people don't even do that. You ask a person what their goals are, they hardly have an answer. They'll tell you concepts. Oh, I want to be a better father. I want to be a better husband. Like, what does that mean? So all of us, man, setting goals that put you in the top 75% or top 25%. If you're to ask me, I don't have any data to back that up, but I think that's probably about accurate. And now if you're writing your goals down every single day and you're taking action towards them once a day, like literally one thing a day, you're already bumping yourself up into the to the top 10% just by doing that. So this week, man, don't do more, do less, and do the right things. Efficiency is doing the right things. Effectiveness is doing the right things well. Let's be effective this week. Conquer all.